How you doing? You leave that. Right when my right when I start to go live, my cat starts going crazy. How you guys doing? We're getting ready to make some lead generation calls and go over a deal that I got sent to see if I can find a buyer for. Hopefully you're having a good Wednesday, December 5th so far. This is my main YouTube channel. I started a few years back, and I've done quite a bit of uh, lead generation around different projects I've been working in over the last couple years, as well as a lot of other stuff. So if you're here on the stream, thank you. Please put a comment, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. I'm working on a couple of projects, some that aren't real estate related. And I've been putting most of that content on other channels, which is why this channel hasn't been very active. But there's over 600 of you that subscribe. So thank you. In this session, I'm going to go over, actually, we're going to make some calls. Looking for some potential opportunities. And I'm also putting together a deal. I got sent a property that's under contract down in Florida. And so I'm got my feelers out on that. And I might even reach out to a few potential buyers and present the opportunity to them and see if they're interested. But the main focus is going to be cold calling from a list using a dialer system and reaching out to property owners to see if they want to sell their property. And depending on the scenario, it would either go to a broker, a couple of the brokers that I've made relationships with, and they would list it. Or if it's something that needs a bunch of work, or there's some special circumstances, or maybe they got to close quickly, I would refer it to a somebody that's going to flip it or a landlord. If it has enough bedrooms, it could work for sober living or transitional living that we would potentially come in as a master tenant or buy and then lease out to sober living operators in the area. So that's what we're doing here on this stream. If you're watching live, I want to say thank you. Hit that thumbs up button. This is going to be an interactive thing. So as I'm going, if you have any questions, use the comments. You can chat live. And if you want to reach out later to learn more about the services and how we call you close works, if you were to use us in your business, you can also reach out. If you go to the channel notes, there's a link to the calendar, and you can put yourself on calendar, and I'll set up a time to talk to you and learn about your business and discuss different things that we're doing that would help you do more of what you're doing in your business, specifically around data generation, lead generation, and lead conversion. That's been my focus most of my sales career, going back to the late 90s. Now, in 2015, I left my last corporate W-2 gig and started other forms of what I'm doing right now, not necessarily the streaming, but the business itself, where a business owner, like a real estate professional or listing agent, would contract our services to work through their database or work through new leads that are coming in, making calls, setting appointments. And then that rolled into participating in the deals and, learning how to wholesale and then working with other investors. This service, We Call You Close, is specifically just that. We call you close. And so that can be shaped to a couple of different formats. But the idea is we're an extension of other businesses, and our focus is converting more leads through calls, texts, emails. We also integrate technologies that are rolling out, like AI, that will be introducing different AI agents through other platforms like Salesforce that will be able to handle a lot of the top of the funnel calling, doing a lot of the top of the funnel lead generation, and then a human factor will come in throughout that process. But as technology rolls out, we embrace it. And you, our clients, either it's technology that your company has in place, or we put that into what we're doing very early in our relationship. If you're just somebody who is trying to get better and make your own calls and you're handling it on your own, that's awesome, because that's where you start. I also offer some training where we can work one-on-one or in a group setting to help you either get started or get better. So let's dive right into it. and I'm going to pull up the RedX platform. So yesterday I found a property that it's 6 units. I'm going to go look at it in person here in a couple hours. And the owner is potentially going to do seller financing on it. And so that was a session I had yesterday. I probably made about 35 calls and had success by finding that one, but I didn't find it until towards the end of the session, right? And I could have very easily gotten frustrated or didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel, but I continued to make calls, and I found somebody who did want to sell their property still. Truth is, I didn't really talk to anybody, and that's one of the things, continuing to keep going. If you're making calls on your own, is that persistence of knowing that you have to go through the no's to find the yeses. And you have to go through the nobody answering the phone. You have to go through disconnect numbers, and you have to be able to persist on. And otherwise, if I had ended that dial session, I would never have found that opportunity. Point. And so that's how it consistently happens. And it's something that I try to do as much as possible daily. And so if it's in your business, it's something that you need to be doing every day, or having somebody on your team on a daily basis doing that. And that's where We Call You Close comes into play. Even if you're very successful at what you're doing, it's a matter of looking at the important parts of your business and deciding to outsource certain parts of it to a partner like We Call You Close. We're currently live on the YouTube channel. If you guys are watching live, hit that thumbs up button. And if you could even share it or invite people in that you would find this valuable. In this call, in this stream, I'll continue to give you guys insight on the platforms that I'm using, and I can share some links if you wanted to sign up. And basically, I'm just demonstrating how the service could work in your business if you were to outsource to us to do some lead generation and data management, lead management, that sort of thing. I'm currently working on an agreement with a mortgage broker and a couple of other retail listing agents. I have a lot of existing relationships with buyers and wholesale companies, private equity firms. And so it's just a matter of from there now finding people who, have properties they want to sell, whether it's, single family, commercial, multifamily. Like this one yesterday it's a 6-unit property. So technically it's commercial. It's 5 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartments and a larger one. And again, I only had 23 leads on this list that I was calling from, and this was number 18.
Please leave your message.
We are using StreamYard for streaming, and I'm using PropWire for the data, and I'm using the Redx Vortex for the data management and to make notes and callbacks. It's a little mini CRM that's built into it. If you guys are looking for platforms to use, I can share a link for you guys to sign up. You just got to make a comment below, and I'll drop it in the comments. So there's like 3 to 4 numbers on this first lead, but I wanted to pull the property up so I can have a visual while making the call. So this one specifically, it was listed a few months ago. It's absentee owners, so the owners don't live in the area. There's an adjustable loan on it, and it looks like that when they did buy it, they used cash, so they could be investors, and so they were trying to sell it, and that's the key. Is all that information is great, but the important part here to me is that within the last year, it was for sale, and then it didn't sell. And so for me to call and to see if they still wanted to sell something, it makes perfect sense. It's not a pull up the yellow pages and just start calling people type work that we're doing here. This is very dialed in cold calling, but really it's very warm calling. It's just a matter of getting somebody on the phone from there. And then having the right conversation and knowing what to do with the opportunity when you find it. And all of that is what we do here.
The person you are trying to reach.
I was trying to pull it up to see if there's any other phone numbers on this one. There's only one number in the database on it. Okay, this one's absentee high equity MLS failed. And if you're wondering how I'm able to get that stack, it's, with PropWire, you can stack the different filters, and then it also does skip tracing as well.
call has been forwarded to. We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
If you feel you've received this message in error, please hang up.
Automated voice messaging system. 9-1.
feel you've received
Once again, we've been making live dials to property owners in California, looking to see if people still want to sell. This is a demonstration of the we call UClose lead generation program. If your business is looking to generate more leads or convert leads you have into opportunities, that's what we do. Top of funnel calls mixed with other touches with text and email, database management. We can also train your existing team, integrating different AI and automation tools as well. And so if you're looking for whether it's consulting or an outsourced service to come in and actually do some cold calls and some follow-up and some appointment setting, we can do that. And we can also set it up to where your whole workflow from the time a lead is generated until you're ready to do contracts is automated. So if you're interested in learning more, use the links. I'm also going to put some links to some of the AI tools that we're developing that you can go in and play with now. There's a link to my calendar. If you just want to learn more about the different systems I'm using, feel free to reach out. There's also a couple of groups that I've created on different platforms that you can access free. So feel free to use those resources. Have a good day. And if you have anything that you're working on that you might need some help with, feel free to reach out. If you're interested in any of the deals that I mentioned, whether that's coming in as an end buyer or an investor partner, reach out.